I've noticed we're losing subscribers. Not the YouTube kind, but the kind that swore they'd be in my life forever. Funny how that works. One day you're surrounded by people who claim to love you, and the next, you're watching them walk away like you were just another phase in their lives. By the way, if you're here, do me a favor, subscribe. It's free, and unlike some people in my life, you won't regret sticking around. The night was suffocating, heavy with the weight of something unseen. The wind whispered secrets through the barren trees, their skeletal branches clawing at the sky like desperate hands. Somewhere in the distance, an owl let out a mournful cry, an omen perhaps. Elena's breath hitched as she sprinted through the damp forest, her heart hammering in her chest. The bruises on her arms throbbed with every step, remnants of the iron shackles that had once bound her. She didn't dare look back, she knew what followed. It had always followed. For years, the townspeople spoke of the forsaken ones, souls damned to roam the in-between, neither living nor dead. They were myths meant to keep children from straying too far at night. But Elena knew better. She had seen the truth in the hollow eyes of the man who had locked her away. A sharp rustling behind her sent a jolt of terror through her spine. It was close. Too close. Her feet pounded against the mossy earth, lungs burning as she pushed forward. Ahead, the trees parted, revealing the ruins of an ancient cathedral, its stone walls crumbling beneath the weight of time. It called to her. Elena stumbled inside, collapsing against the cold floor. The air was thick with dust and something older, something watching. Her trembling fingers traced the strange symbols carved into the stone, their meaning lost to time. And then the temperature dropped. A whisper, soft as silk yet laced with malice, curled around her ear. You should not have come back. Elena froze. Her blood turned to ice as a shadow coiled at the entrance, its form shifting, writhing like liquid darkness. The candlelight flickered, revealing the shape of something not human. She had escaped one prison, only to enter another. And this time there was no way out. Elena's breath came in shallow gasps, her back pressed against the cold stone of the cathedral ruins. The shadow at the entrance twisted unnaturally, its form shifting between something vaguely human and something far more sinister. The air crackled with an energy that made her skin prickle. You should not have come back. The voice slithered through the empty space, filling every crevice of the ancient structure. It wasn't just sound, it was weight pressing against her bones, squeezing the air from her lungs. Elena forced herself to move, her trembling fingers fumbling for anything that could serve as a weapon. Her hands found nothing but dust and remnants of the past. The symbols on the stone beneath her fingers pulsed, the carvings exuding a faint glow. A shiver ran down her spine. The shadow advanced, its edges curling inward, as if feeding off the darkness itself. A low whisper echoed from its depths, voices overlapping, some pleading, some laughing, others screaming. Did you think you could escape? Did you think the past would stay buried? Elena's pulse roared in her ears. This wasn't just some apparition. It was something ancient, something vengeful. She swallowed hard, forcing her voice to stay steady. I don't know what you want, but You know exactly what we want. The candlelight flickered violently, casting jagged shadows across the stone walls. A sudden gust of wind slammed the cathedral doors shut with a deafening boom. Elena's mind raced. There had to be a way out. She had read of spirits, of entities that fed on fear and regret. If this thing was tied to the past, maybe it could be undone. Her gaze flicked to the altar at the end of the cathedral. The carvings there were deeper, more intricate. A prayer maybe? A warning? Summoning every ounce of courage, she staggered to her feet and forced herself toward it. The shadow lunged. Elena let out a scream as icy tendrils wrapped around her wrist, pulling, dragging her toward the abyss of its form. Pain exploded through her body, memories she had long buried clawing their way to the surface. Her childhood. The whispers in the dark. The warnings she had ignored. She gasped as realization struck. The curse. The reason the townspeople never strayed too far. She wasn't just running from it. She was part of it. Elena clenched her fists, pushing back against the force that sought to consume her. You don't control me, she gritted out. A laugh, low, cruel, mocking. But we do. The pressure intensified, her body growing heavy. The light from the carvings dimmed. The air thickened. She was losing. No, not like this. With the last of her strength, she reached out, tracing the symbols with bloodied fingertips. The moment her skin made contact, a searing light erupted from the stone. A sound like shattering glass filled the air. The shadow shrieked, its form unraveling, pulled backward by an unseen force. Elena collapsed to her knees, gasping. The darkness recoiled, twisting, writhing, before finally, with one final howl, it vanished. Silence. The weight lifted. The candlelight steadied. The ruin stood still once more. Elena exhaled shakily, her body aching, but she was alive. For the first time in her life, the thing that had haunted her, the thing that had always followed, was gone. She wasn't free of the past, but she had broken its hold. And as she stepped out of the ruins, the first light of dawn cutting through the trees, she knew one thing for certain. She would never run again. At its core, this story is about breaking free from the past and standing up for yourself. Elena was haunted by forces beyond her control, just like many of us are held back by toxic relationships, past mistakes, or fears we refuse to face. But the moment she confronted the darkness instead of running, she took back her power. Sometimes, the hardest battles we fight are not against others but within ourselves. The past may shape us, but it does not have to define us. We are stronger than we think, and true freedom comes when we face our fears head-on. Now, I want to hear from you. Small Blue Diamond, did this story resonate with you? Small Blue Diamond, have you ever had to break free from something that held you back? Small Blue Diamond, what lessons did you take from this? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. Let's keep the conversation going.